Hey everyone, welcome back. So today I wanted to do kind of a combination of things. First of all, a walkthrough of where I am currently in my B-Stick Stylogy bullet journal. And I wanted to do also kind of a February setup and a Power Sheets update because I am using the Power Sheets in conjunction with this. So I'll show you how that information is flowing back and forth. The cover I'm using is an Aura Estelle B6TN. This is something that's sold out right now. I don't know if she's planning on restocking these because she just introduced a new perfect fit cover. This one, because of the way the pocket is in the back, the B6 Stylogy does not fit in here. So the new one it's supposed to. There's a kind of a slip pocket here in the back that it's supposed to slide into. They tried to deliver it to my office, the new perfect fit cover, on Saturday. We weren't open, so I should have it tomorrow, but I didn't want to wait to film this for you until I got that. So anyway, I probably will do a comparison because I also have a Moterm cover coming, as well as the Print Prussians cover that I received that wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. So I'll do a cover comparison here in the future. But let's get into what's in here. So pretty much all of my decos from Cocoa Daisy. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you probably are aware of that. This card is from Cocoa Daisy. These are actually from Dear Lily Designs. So I use these when I'm wanting something a little more precise. The Texas Girl vinyl. I made the vinyl myself, but I bought the SVG file from Magnolia SVG on Etsy. I actually made this cover myself. I ordered one from Salty Katie for my Hobonichi Weeks. I got to looking at it. I sew. This is not as professionally done as hers by any stretch of the imagination, but the star vinyl is like $13 for 6 sheets of various colors on Amazon, so I thought I would give it a try. It turned out decent. Like I said, not as professional as hers, but hey, it works. Let's see. All right, so I have my bullet journal key here. This is just in case I kind of forget what I'm doing. Again, vinyl that I made on my silhouette. This was a freebie from somebody's Facebook group. Unfortunately, I don't remember who. I just went through all of the stuff that I've downloaded over the last 4 or 5 years and just looked for anything that I thought was pretty and that I wanted to put in my planner, and so that was one of them. Index page, my word of the year, which is perception. I'll actually talk a little bit more about this when we get into my power sheets. My 2020 goals, which did not change even though my word did. Future log. If you've watched my previous video, I've mentioned before, it's blank under here. I wasn't sure how I wanted to use this yet. This may actually end up being either a super high level projects and things I have going on, or it might be for 2021. I'm not sure. The post-it notes are there, so if I change my mind, it's not that big of a deal. This is kind of my monthly overview section. I have lines for when I'm traveling or have something going on that spans several days. And I do have this all the way through the end of the year. So this is pretty much the same as this kind of monthly section. I did print these out because I wasn't sure if I wanted to have an entire year of months like this in addition to in here. I'm finding I'm using this more, so I might print a new copy of the monthlies and use this for a content calendar. I haven't decided how I want to handle that yet, but that is kind of on my project list for February. I have a tending list sheet that I downloaded from SM Plans on Etsy. However, I did something different for February that I will show you. Vellum that I printed with an image from Instagram. And then I tipped in, and I'm going to be doing this each month, I'm pretty sure, because I really liked how this worked. I tipped in the monthly page from my store, Kendra Bork Printables. So it's nice because I have a master task list. I have kind of the month in a visual sort of way, which this is really how my brain works. And then I have an index of important information. So I kind of have an index of stuff that I want to include from these daily pages. And then I have a notes page here. And then we get into the weekly view. I really like this weekly view, and you'll see that I've been using this consistently. And Emma is hopping on and off the couch, so hopefully it's not too loud. So I do have kind of a week at a glance over here. So just high level appointments, things I have going on. I have a meal plan here, which you'll see I've moved. I put this sticker down first, which was my travel information, so this did not fit up there very easily. And sometimes I'm tipping in vellum. This is something I printed off the internet. Other times I'm not. I don't know that that's going to be a consistent thing. Then I have my daily/weekly review, and I'm doing this here instead of here because I am less likely to flip back and fill this out. I'd rather just have kind of a week at a glance because it's less overwhelming, it's easier to find stuff, and I can see quickly when I have and haven't done stuff. So this section here is all stuff that I do pretty much every single day. And then this is kind of my weekly routine. So like Mondays I clean bathrooms. Tuesdays I'm usually dancing, so I don't schedule anything that day. Wednesday I do laundry. Thursday mop the kitchen. Actually I end up mopping it every single day, but this is kind of more of a thorough mop. Friday dust and vacuum. Saturday grocery shopping and errands. So, and then I have a section for to-dos down here for the bottom for the week as stuff occurs to me that doesn't go on a day. And then I get into daily pages. Pretty much you'll either see an abbreviated schedule or a full schedule. So this is more for when I'm out of town or maybe just at home. And then you'll see this full schedule for days that I'm actually working. So it's pretty consistent throughout the time. And then at the end of the day, if I have room, I'll go back in and add a sticker. So that would be week 3 because I started the 3rd week of January. And then here's week 4, same situation. You'll see the meal plan sticker up here, kind of a idea of what I have going on that day, another vellum, another weekly routine, and a to-do section. And then we get into my week. So the other thing I'll do is I'll put notes down here at the bottom, depending on what's going on. I had a sticky note in here when I was planning out the week, just so I had kind of the schedule for the board retreat that we had going on Thursday and Friday. This is kind of my page marker, if you will. You'll notice I have another one back here because I'm going to switch these out each month. And again, as I've done for quite a while now, I have these Post-it removable tabs, and I've just stuck the Cocoa Daisy tab on top of it so I can peel it off and move it to different things if I want to. And I'll talk a little bit about this later, but it's a list of journaling prompts from Seneca, who's a Stoic philosopher. Anyway, so this is where we are here. We're on Sunday. And yeah, I was really excited. I paid off my car loan yesterday. I was like, there's not that much left on it. I'm just going to get rid of it. So I have only one loan that I'm trying to accelerate the payoff left, and that should be done by the middle of the year. So yay. So I found the sticker Adulted Like a Boss, and I thought that was funny, and I stuck it there. So this is next week. Again, I have my kind of basic weekly layout, so I know what I have going on, dinner menu, the weekly routine set up, and I did make some changes. If we go back to this week, I don't know if you can see it. I wrote in pencil some changes that I want to make for some other things that I want to track. So that I'll show you in February. So same sort of layout. This is usually what it looks like when I've just set up for the upcoming week. So you'll see if I don't have anything going on, the schedule is blank, so I can add stuff. So schedule on this side and to-do list on this side. Every single day, I usually make a little wake up at and then morning routine so that the night before I can figure out what time I need to get up based on what I have going on the next day. And then that's the end of that week. So this is what I'm doing different for February. So in January, I had a tending list, and this is basically information from my power sheets. And I wasn't super good about checking things off. I did go back through and update it. So this is where I ended up for January, because I updated this yesterday. This I kind of drew a line through because it was pretty much no longer relevant. I did update my daily action items in here off of the weekly routine pages. So that's why I prefer doing it here. If I really want to and I want to see it in here, I can always transfer it, but at least I'm actually tracking it in my day-to-day planner. So that is January. Then I did February prep yesterday, and then this is February's tending list. I do need to transfer my top priority over. I wrote it in my planner, but not in here. But my monthly action items are a content calendar for my YouTube channel, a shop calendar for my print Etsy store, basically putting together financials for tax purposes for YouTube, Etsy, all that jazz. Doing tax items for my personal taxes and tax items for my company. So February is usually a very tax heavy month, and I really don't care for taxes all that much. So it's just like all the taxes all at once. My weekly action items, once I figure out what my content calendar is, then I can check off when I'm posting YouTube videos or putting in updates in my Etsy store. I am trying to attend church when I'm in town, so you'll notice I have dots here on week 4. That's because I will not be home. And then I drew a line through week 5 because there's not necessarily a 5th week in January. Same thing with Bible study, and then I'm trying to work on decluttering my master bedroom. Now, as far as the daily actions, daily home care, yoga, or any sort of movement, and healthy eating. So those are the 3 things that I'm trying to work on a daily basis in February. So, knowing that I am not tracking the daily items kind of on the master tending list or on this page, I'm going to keep doing this weekly tracker. So essentially this is kind of like a checklist for me so I don't forget what I'm doing, but I did add in movement. I put ×3 because I just want to make sure I do it 3 times in a week. I've added in my dog's eye medicines, which she's supposed to get twice a day, so I figure I'll do 1/2 of an X in, the morning and the other half of the X at night or something like that. Healthy eating, if I've managed to eat all the meals that day in what I consider as healthy, then I will give myself a check in that section. And I think the only other thing I did is I flip-flopped the sweep, mop, kitchen, and empty dishwasher. Just because generally I am cleaning up the floor in the kitchen first and then emptying the dishwasher. So I tried to make this kind of a as I do things normally. So I moved some stuff around. So on this side, I transferred forward the quote that I wanted to kind of keep in mind. And my top priority is taxes, because as you see, everything on here has to do with taxes pretty much. I did draw myself boxes, and there are 5 squares across. I put a dot on each square in between so I can kind of see it a little more easily because this is a very faint grid. And then the weekly section is here, and I kind of replicated what I did with the boxes. I just highlighted every other line to make it easier to kind of follow across. Now, I did mention I would talk a little bit along with goal setting about the change in word that I have for myself. So originally I started out with the word tend, which when I was trying to do the Power Sheets prep seemed like a good enough word. I wasn't super excited about it. But with all of the stress of things that I had going on at the end of last year, I needed to kind of find a way to get back some stillness or serenity in my life. So it is a long roundabout sort of story how I got there, but I was watching a video from Amy Landino. Her YouTube channel is Amy TV, and she talked about a little tiny bit about Stoic philosophy and the Daily Stoic. So as a result of that, I went and I looked it up, and it seemed pretty much exactly what I was looking for. Without knowing it, that was a philosophy I'd followed or was something that came naturally to me. Somehow I've gotten away from it, so I've really been reading up on it. And so their whole thing, which is actually part of what this quote is that the only thing you can control is basically your perception. So your choices, your desires, how you think, what you think about things, whether you think something is good or bad, you assign that idea to whatever happens, because whatever happens it's not good or bad until you assign something to it. which the idea behind that is it allows you to find the good in things that might at first glance be completely bad. So that is a very basic understanding of what Stoic philosophy is. And anyway, because that resonated with me, I changed my word to perception, because that is what I'm working on. What is my perception of what has happened, and how can I find the good in this? So that is the story behind me changing my word, and probably did that a couple of weeks ago, because I was just, the word tend did not seem like it was kind of coming together for me. So coming back in here, so this is what I wrote under why I choose this word. I want to remember what is in my control: my thoughts, opinions, choice, desire, aversion. All else is outside my control. I might not be able to control an external event, but I can control my opinion about the event. So that is what I'm trying to remember this year. As things happen, it's not all about me. And just because it happened, yeah. So I'm trying to work on how I am perceiving things that happen. Moving on, I have just a vellum. I thought this was the cutest little dog that came in the Cocoa Daisy journaling card kit. So I have my tip in for February. I have the task list, month on 2 pages, and the index of important information again. I have the notes page. And then the only thing I've set up for the month of February really is this revised daily tracker. So I'll go through, it'll still be set up the same way with kind of the week at a glance over here, and then a page per day. So I'm really liking how that is working for me. And the Saturday, Sunday together is just perfect, because I don't have, I mean, generally they share a to-do list and I don't have to worry about something I don't get done on Saturday migrating it forward to Sunday, because usually most of this is just kind of like whenever it needs to get done, it will get done. Just remembered something I need to do. My oil change light came on today. I need to make sure I get that taken care of, and I keep thinking about it, but only when I'm in the car. So got it written down though. So yeah, that's where I am. In the back, I have this little notebook. This came with, or it was a set of 3 that I bought. It's sized for the weeks. But I think I mentioned in a previous video, the weeks is basically a B6 size, but narrower. And so this, if I wanted to take notes on something, I would have a booklet for it. And this is, I am forgetting who I downloaded this from. I will try and find out who, and then I will put a link down below. But it came from their Facebook group. Lots of people have this, so you probably have seen it before. This is just David Allen's Getting Things Done flowchart. So that's what's in the back here. This is my normal reference booklet that you've seen many times before, with my values, my rule of life, 2020 goals, prioritizing questions, daily routines, weekly routine. This is my review checklists. Inside of here, I have the phone list for my office and my monthly budget. And then on the back, I have the pre-trip prep and the post-trip reset. And then I already showed you this back here, which is just the months at a glance. Another Cocoa Daisy card, and then just some random notes on pieces of paper that I've stuck back here. So yeah, that's pretty much my planner at a glance right now. I like it because it's still fairly thin. I'm sure it will bulk up. You can kind of see it's already starting to. But that's okay. I'm kind of enjoying having a little more freedom, I guess. And if I don't like something, I can change it fairly easily. I will tell you, because I am somebody who likes consistency, I've considered quite a few times about trying to get this page out. I did try at one point in time, but it did tear the page underneath it, so I just left it, because that would just kind of ruin everything. And I just keep reminding myself, I've fixed the problems on this page, so I don't have to worry about it. But I am enjoying this new idea of just the monthly and weeklies here, and then putting the daily things at the beginning of each week. And then that makes it fairly easy to transfer over, but I'm not like trying to line up 31 days. Aside from that, there's only 23 days or 23 boxes across here. So it would be very difficult to try and fit a full month tracker in. I might be able to do it this direction, but then again, there's only 32 boxes this direction too, so that kind of doesn't leave you a whole lot of room. So I'm thinking that just doing it a week at a time is probably best, and then I only just have to go to this one section to update things. Basically flip open to this in the morning, and then again when I get home from work, and then I have kind of what all I need to get done that day all together. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'd be happy to answer them. I will hopefully be doing the cover comparison here as soon as everything arrives. I have 2 out of 3 covers right now. I don't know when the Moterm is coming in. The tracking is not super great because I ordered from AliExpress. So I don't know when it will be in. It just says, you know, dispatched from sorting center, arrived at sorting center, but it doesn't say where the sorting center is. So I don't know if it's still roaming around inside of China or if it's now kind of over the United States. Meh, well, I don't know. We'll find out. When it shows up, and then that's when I'll do that video. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Obviously, now that I'm in a bullet journal, there will be more bullet journaling videos. I have finally, I think, gotten my OmniFocus redone and kind of set up how I like it. I'm still doing a little bit more of the roaming through the rabbit holes of the OmniFocus online discussion groups, so I think it's pretty much almost there though. So I'll probably do a video shortly on that as well, so you can kind of see how I'm keeping track of my tasks since they're obviously not in here. So both home and work tasks are being kept in OmniFocus, and this is more of a top 3 priorities for that day, which I usually will decide the night before, and then kind of a list of what all I've gotten done that day. Which may seem like a duplicate, but this is a lot easier to kind of see what I got done that day. This is kind of an easier summary. Anyway, I thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!